Hello there, welcome to Friends from Africa for Africa podcast. My beautiful name is Dorcas Omale.
And I'm Lena Woge.
And this is episode number 4.
Is it
5? 4.
We don't know.
Okay.
We're losing count. It's good.
How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hot. I'm feeling dandy.
All right. So today we're gonna talk about an interesting topic. We're gonna go back to our first film.
For sure.
That is Within Ordinary. Oh my goodness. Cheers to the brains behind it.
Hey, guys.
But we're just gonna talk about the normal struggles, the everyday struggles that might feel a bit too much and sometimes go unnoticed and can lead up to very crazy situations. Suicide, others can go up to crazy mental health situations. Now just for you to take us through Within Ordinary and why you decided to call it Within Ordinary, the thought process around Within Ordinary.
Within Ordinary is, first of all, thank you so much.
Yeah.
For fast with a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But
we learned through the process.
Within Ordinary is a wonderful short film that I think I based it on real life experiences. The kawaida, every day you wake up, you go to work, you come back in the evening, you probably have family calling you over. Black tax is real family.
Yeah.
So you have family calling, you have rent that is due, you have money that you need to pay, financial constraints financial constraints that exist, and so it becomes overwhelming for certain people. So I think Within Ordinary is just based on that kawaida life that shifts from the ordinary to a bit extraordinary, and so pushing the button to probably suicide,
especially among young people.
Not forgetting that in our age and era, there's social media, there's a lot of comparison.
There's too much
comparison. Yeah, the pressure, the comparison is real. So I think we literally based Within Ordinary on that level.
Yeah, and now that you've just already mentioned the aspect of social media pressure, I know this is something that has been talked about over and over. To a point, it might look like a cliche, but it is not, because as we continue, as the years go, we realize that even social media is growing each and every day.
For sure.
And it is very important to keep on talking about the aspect of social media pressure. And this is one of the themes that was highlighted when Within Ordinary. The comparison bit. I think that is what even led to the neighbor, Teresa. Well, led to the neighbor committing suicide.
For sure.
So let us talk about social media pressure and how this comparison comes by. Is it because you're seeing other people doing well and who are majorly affected
I think
by this social media pressure?
Yeah, it's us, the budding young people, the people who are trying to figure life out. As you're figuring life out and your fuliza is probably over the limit, someone is on Instagram living large, traveling to Dubs and all. It becomes heavy on us, the young people.
And I think it's very important also to mention the aspect of social media breaks. Just within social media pressure, within the comparison, to just talk about social media breaks. I understand it doesn't work for everybody. Not everyone practices it. I do practice social media breaks. It doesn't have to be a month, a year, 3 months. A week is enough just to get off social media. Try to bring yourself to ground yourself, then get back to it. And also just building a boundary and saying, okay, this is important, maybe this is not really important, or this serves me, this does not serve me. I know it's sometimes quite difficult to build that boundary because, as you say, it is sometimes within ordinary. So even for you to realize that the pressure is getting into you, so hard. It's so hard. It's just an everyday thing. It's TikTok every day. It is Instagram 3 hours a day. 5 hours a day on social media.
Scrolling like TikTok. Time is going like TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I need Zero Location to put me on some music. Yeah, that was really good. Big shout out to them.
Big shout out to Zero Location. And I think with social media breaks, personally, they do work for me. I don't know if you've ever practiced or if you've ever done social media, taken social media breaks.
I would be lying. I love the media. I enjoy media. I would be lying if I said I've taken social media breaks. But I have blocked people who are giving me pressure. I have blocked. When if I see you driving a car while I'm still on Futsubishi, I block for a minute. Not because I'm not happy for you, but because and this is the thing, guys. You find that sometimes there's certain things you're chasing in life. But we haven't learned, or rather most of us are really trying to figure out the cards life has dealt us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I see someone buying a car, I desire a car, but when I look at my situation at home, when I look at my situation with family, when I look at my situation with where I'm at in life,
Where you're at in life,
it doesn't
basically.
deal me the card to buy a car.
Yeah.
But now when someone is buying a car, I'm like, I need a car. I will block.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily social media break. It's just that I tend to stay away from people who
breaking the boundary,
who make me feel, oh, I need to be doing more. Am I not doing more? And then gets you frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that progress is looking good on you guys, but yo, don't kill me.
Don't kill me with that too much pressure. Yeah. And all these factors, all these aspects, all the things that you have just mentioned, they all lead to one thing. Yes. That is mental health. Depression is real, stress levels are real, and anxiety is also real. And these are just some of the things that were also well depicted in the film.
Yes.
And we have those some of the indicators, some of the trigger things that can tell you things are not well here.
For sure.
Maybe you could just mention some of them.
And I'm looking, yeah, I could mention some of them, and then I'm looking at some of the comments right here.
Yeah.
That depression isn't always looking and feeling sad. Sometimes it's a lack of motivation, excessive sleeping, poor eating habits, unexplainable anger, easily annoyed, low self-esteem, no strive to do things you normally do. So this could pass us some of the indicators.
Yeah, they could pass us some of the indicators, which are also well showcased on the film.
Absolutely. Depression debilitates your ability to get out of bed. You can't take care of your hygiene or clean your room. You barely care about your basic needs. You feel like you're missing out on a better life.
Yeah.
Woo, for real, for sure. We said it. Comparison. And for sure, the film depicts this to the T.
Yeah. And just to mention that these are not just the indicators, or they're not. It doesn't mean that when your room is disorganized, even maybe twice or thrice, you're going to go in depression.
Yeah,
you know.
it's
a long period of time. You know, not eating maybe for a long period of time, oversleeping, sometimes even lack of sleep.
For sure.
Yeah, it can either be oversleeping or lack of sleep.
And all those indicators, like you said, it's long-term effects. And well, when we say mental health and they all accumulate down to mental health equally leads to suicide. And maybe we take a pause right here just to look at the numbers and how much of mental health situations, depression, stress, we can attribute to suicide or mental health leading suicides. Those are the numbers. Absolutely crazy, absolutely bizarre. This means more work for us to do. And maybe now just let's narrow it down to now, after looking at the indicators, looking at the numbers, looking at how crazy the situation is, what can we do when we first of all realize that we are going through a depression phase, a mental health situation, something that will weigh heavily on us? What can we do to make sure that people have better mental health? Yeah,
I think mental health is one of those I tend to call ugly animals that has to be, you have to just kill, and sometimes killing an animal can be a bit taxing. And mental health, to just get to and to know sometimes when things are not working your way. This is just an opinion. It doesn't have to work for you, or it might also work for you. Get to those moments where at least you just have to examine your environment, examine what is happening around you, take a pause, because sometimes when we say it is within ordinary, you don't realize when it gets to that point where it's too much, it is overwhelming. So how do you go from the point of, is it overwhelming really? How do you even discover, or how do you even know that this is overwhelming? I think it is just sitting down and noticing some of a few things which are off. The way you've just said, yeah, is it a pattern, or when did this start? When did my room start to get disorganized? Any other indicator that you have just mentioned, it needs to start from somewhere. Then maybe after examining yourself and going back to you before you step out and start seeking help, maybe just take it back within And now when you go out, seek for a community, seek for help. Now speak up. But it is sometimes very important to just sit down, examine yourself. Why is this happening? Why do I keep on failing in one of the 2-3 projects I'm trying to do? Is my head really at the right space?
Yeah.
You know, I think when now you start noticing that maybe my head is not really at the right space, my kind of disorganized, just to mention oversleeping, or not sleeping at all. So those are some of the crazy patterns. Migraines on and off.
Yeah, so you need to notice.
Yeah.
I love that you say go back to yourself, because in the film we really do try to show that sometimes change starts from within, and within ordinary really goes back to within. So change starts from within. There's an importance in looking into the mirror, and especially in that scene, I think it was very powerful. Looking into the mirror and thinking to yourself that, hey, I need to do better for myself. I need to change up. I need to set boundaries. I need to realize that I am seated in a dump site, and I need to wake up, clean up, do things for me. And that moment where I would call it acceptance, accepting the fact that I am in deep seas. I need to get out of this. I'm in the pits for sure, and I need to get out is very important. So stay with yourself and just examine it. Seek community. Move. Move for mental health.
Yeah.
Move, because I love to dance. By the way, I know for sure you love to dance
all the time.
Yeah. Zero location again.
Yeah.
We love to dance, and most of the times we dance just to get our mental health in check. Some people hit the gym for mental health. You run around your corridors or your spaces or your area. Just move
right down. Some people say, just write down.
Yeah. I don't know what works for you. Don't know what works for you. But if you have things that are working for you that are unique to you, please talk to us. I know some people love. Is it pottery?
Yes.
Some people enjoy pottery. Some people sit in the nature, and my goodness, do we love nature? Do we love nature? I mean, God knew what he was doing with the green and the waters. Absolutely beautiful out here. Anyway, you come through and tell us, what do you do for your mental health? Do you move? Do you dance? Do you journal? Do you whatever you do? Please come through and tell us what you do. Also, please remember to check up on your friends. Hey, can I get an amen? Remember to check up on your friends. Also, you're not okay.
Just remember to
speak up.
Seek for a community.
Yeah, seek for a community. We can always rally behind you and then see what we can do as communities, right?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
And just before we wrap up, I'd love to know what was your favorite thing as you were shooting.
Damn. First of all, it was on a real budget.
Yeah.
But my favorite scene has to be the night scene.
Yeah.
It was.
I think also to me, I think the night scene.
Yeah. The night scene was very beautiful, and the mirror moment.
Yeah.
That mirror moment when you look into the mirror and you say, you know what? It's not good.
And the point where she set the boundary, I think that for me also was very powerful. And I think also the night thing, because it was not planned.
For sure. It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned.
It was just like, okay, shooting, it is nice. Okay, can you capture this? Yeah. And the aspect of now talking about the whole suicide issue. Let me just say, the whole film, as much as you're saying it was on a budget, we had a lot of some moments where we're like,
it was a learning moment.
It was a learning moment, but at the same time it was so exciting doing it, and also just trying to bring out this idea in form of a film. I think the whole thing was super exciting. All the scenes are quite interesting. So if you haven't watched Within Ordinary, please go back and watch Within Ordinary. Like, comment, and share for sure. But for now, it's a wrap. Dorcas Amole is my name.
Lino Boge.